are they? Imperator has provided our orders. We are to march on the Teuton. Eliminate, desecrate, and destroy what is his. When a man of few words says many, it is best to listen. I Centurion Scelestus Obitus. I'm here to lead that charge. And so, it stands to reason that I should talk to you before we go. The king of the Macedonians stood at the edge of the world and wept sultan tears when he realized there was no more of it to conquer. Gaius Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon and created the state of Rome, which we today serve. We are her custodians. We are her messengers, her ambassadors. Imperator Augustus Gaius Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon again, and it is under the Imperator's banner that we lay waste to the remaining denizens, enemies of Rome, and people who will not follow our lead here in Europe. Once we are successful here against the Teuton, we will be sent to Britannia. But I am not here today to talk to you about the future. I am here today to talk to you about now. Our enemy are a simple people. When they see our roads paved before us, they do not know where they lead. When they see our granaries, pottery, and artworks, they do not know what they mean or what they are for. Our goal in Europe is that of conquest, but it is also that of assimilation, of education, and conjugation. We are not here to simply slay our foes, lay waste to them, and kill those in our wake. We are here to enforce a system, the system of Rome, the carefully laid pathways with which all lead to, ideas which all lead to, and freedom and equality that all leads to Rome. We are here as ambassadors, custodians, representatives of Rome. And as your centurion, I ask that you represent Rome as best you can in as fitting a way as possible, so as not to bring ill repute or to stain the name of Augustus Caesar. We have Mars by our side and Jupiter's blessing. We have the gods at our hands. There is no way we will falter. There is no way that we will lose. We are Rome. Yet, I am humbled by the European. I am humbled by their ways, their culture, so alien to that of where we hail from, and yet not so different in many ways. When Gaius Julius Caesar defended his claim to the Empire of Rome, it was done so with a triumph. The defeat of Vercingetorix of the Gaul. Little remains of that nation. Yet let us not forget that Rome is cosmopolitan. Rome is the city of the world, the government of the world, and a place where all are accepted. On this line, we have left many we love behind. My wife waits for me. Either she is staying with our children in the greatest city in the world, or she is at our vineyard, sampling the finest wines in the world. I fight for them, but I fight for the glory they represent also. We are liberators. Some would have us as worse than the savages, as conquerors. But unlike that king of Macedonia, we will not weep when there is no more the world to conquer. We will not lay salted tears on the ground so that nothing else may grow. We will rise triumphant as Rome. We will continue to improve the world, so that rather than weep that there is no more of the world to conquer, we will rejoice that there is more of the world to develop under the wise leadership of Augustus Caesar. The battle ahead will claim many lives. More of the enemy, of course. But some of you will die. And as your centurion, as your victus to hail, I wonder what lives you leave behind, what memories you will forget. It is a long journey to the underworld, but it is a short one to death. And I ask of you to not take that short trip, and where possible, to show mercy upon our enemy, the Teuton, or the Gaul, and eventually, when we land at her, the Britons. This campaign will see us gone from our loved ones for a protracted period. It will be years until we sample the finest grapes, drink the finest wine in the finest city in the world. And if you die, know that you died for the glory of Rome. Know that you softly into the next world, guided by what you believe and what you know. Falling for a ruler such as Augustus Caesar is an honor, but dying for Rome is a privilege reserved only for the legion. As such, I expect you to die with dignity. I wish nothing more than to see my wife, to see my child, to see my home, and to see Rome. I wish nothing more than for all of us to return together to that sacred place that we call home. We are the surrogate family for the one which we left behind. And I promise, I vow to each and every one of you that I will not abandon any of you. You will never be left alone in the field of battle. You will never be left behind in the theater of war. Sooner would I rather fall on my own sword than see any of you fall upon the enemies. That is why when we fight today, we fight together. As Romulus and Remus were raised by wolves, all of Rome inherits that feral strength, the preternatural ability to compete and to defeat. That is why you are my chosen men. You are the few who I choose to fight beside me in this dreary, grey, lackluster part of the world. And you, my second, have the greatest honor of all. We shall fight side by side, phalanx formation. You, my second, will be at my side. You will carry my blade. You will ensure not my safety, but the safety of the unit. We will be the vanguard. It is up to us to check ahead. I take this responsibility of my own volition. There is no need for blood, unnecessary blood, to be shed. We have word of the enemy numbers, where they are based, how they are armed. All there is for us to do is strike. And strike we will, my brothers. We strike forth so that we may go back. We fight on so that we may stop. We push forward to go home, to Rome. After the victory over the Teutons and defeat of the remaining Gauls, we sail for Britain. There we fight the Druid and the tribes who reside there. All I ask of you is to stay by my side. Be not as my legion, but my friend. For in this theatre of war, we perform for no audience but ourselves. Ave. For the Imperator, for Rome.